Welcome back, folks, to another rebuild, and today we're going to go over to Sampdoria in Italy, where they really struggled last season in Serie A, and saying that, they did end up getting relegated quite poorly. However, they are in Serie B, so we're going to try and get them back up to the Serie A in their first season and try and stay there and try and win as many trophies as we can. But currently, they are lying in 13th position. Not doing well at all. 5 wins from the first 14 games in Serie B, 6 losses. Goal difference is appalling, just scraping over 1 goal a game. It's not a trait that you want from a previous Serie A team who you would expect to go straight back up. Sampdoria enjoyed the best spells in the 1990s, or now enduring a 29-year barren spell, having not won a competition since 94. They have a history which they can still be proud of, finishing runners-up in the UEFA Champions League in 92, winning the Italian top division for the only time in 91, as well as the Cup Winners' Cup in 90, and finishing runners-up in that competition as well. With only the 1 Serie A competition win and Cup Winners' Cup. They have won the Italian Cup though 4 times, so that's pretty decent, but nothing of late, and like they say, 29 years since winning a trophy. If we have a look at their best 11 and formation, I'm not a fan of, as you'll probably know from our previous rebuilds. We might go 2 in midfield as DMs possibly, but we'll see how it goes. Barini, their striker Estanis, De Paulo, Benedetti, Vera, Jeps, Stojanovic, Facu, Ferrari, Maru and Stankovic in goal. Still looks a pretty decent side. They have got an awful lot of players on loan, which does not bode well for the team, not if we're trying to rebuild. Chairman wants us to play entertaining football, play attacking football at the same time, and sign players from the lower levels of the domestic game. So before we have a look at the squad, let's have a look at the money situation. We have got £2.5 million to spend, which is kind of nice for this window. £10 million in the bank. Got a little bit of wiggle room in the wages, I'm thinking, and debts. A net debt of £30 million. They have got a miscellaneous debt with £40 million outstanding, which won't be paid off until 2045, 150k a month. Staffing wise, you would have expected us to have the best, but the goalkeeping situation, well, we need to sort that one out pretty sharpish, and we have got the best at medical staff, so that's kind of handy. Having a look at our squad by ability, we have got quite a few players out on loan, like Emil Eduro. I mean, why he's out on loan, I've got no idea. He's 26 years old. Why? Have we got another goalkeeper? Stankovic, of course we have. 21 years old. Okay, I can live with that. How much is he worth? £9 million. I doubt very much we're going to be able to hang on to him, but here's hoping. Young midfielder, striker, Esposito. That's pretty decent as well. I mean, we might be able to do a deal there. I mean, they have got some very good youngsters, actually, like Gonzalez on loan. Wow, we could definitely do something with some of these players. But if we have a look at Pedrola, transfer, he's joining us on the 1st of July next season. So Stanis Pedrola, 19 years old, left winger. Okay, so we have a wing. He can play up front and on the right. Cam as well. Quite versatile, looks pretty decent. 19 years old though as well. I mean, some of the players they have got are very young. Unfortunately, they're not coming to us next season, so we may have to sell in order to bring some of these players in. So if we have a look at Barini, striker, he's 32 years old now. Definitely have him as a striker. 13 finishing. How has he done? 20 goals last season. Alex Ferrari is currently injured, 29-year-old right back, centre back. Vera as well, pretty decent. There's a lot of youngsters who are high potential. It's whether or not we're going to be able to fit them all in. Maybe we just go all out young team. Maybe that's the way to play this this particular rebuild. Very high potential. Looks pretty decent. Maybe quite good. Important player could still improve. Gilardi. Daniel, 20 years old, centre back, high potential. He's on loan to us, same with Panada. This is where the problem is going to lie. Is we've got an awful lot of players on loan where we haven't got actual first teamers, well, owned players. So currently we are predicted to finish in 4th position, currently 11-4, same with Spezia. Parma, Cremonese above Palermo, Venezia, Bari, Pisa. Quite a few good teams in here, but I would expect us to finish 4th, if not higher. So what we'll do, we'll go away, sort the formation out, sort what players we're going to be using, see if we can bring any more players in, and then we'll show you what we've done. So we only managed to spend a little bit of money, £2 million on Alejandro Frances from Zaragoza. A right back. I felt like we needed another right back. We didn't have anybody in particular that was any good, and he's only 21 years old. So going with what the whole of the squad looks like, it's very, very young, apart from a couple of aging players. However, if we can get the young players in now, playing in this division, going up, they should be pretty much established. Even if it takes us 2 seasons to get there, which the board are not that fussed with, apparently. So if we can get up there first time, then great. Then we'll have more money, and then we'll be able to build on that. Almost a 4-star player, 5-star potential, very good stats. He does not dive into tackles, which is kind of good, and he brings the ball out of defence, and that's what I kind of want as well. He can play in defence, central defence as well, which is pretty handy for us as well. So 2 positions where he can play. But £2 million, I thought it was quite a bargain, and he's played 3 games for us already, and he's already averaging over 7. We are going to be adopting the 4-2-3-1, a very similar to the Union Berlin from last week formation. Just a couple of adaptations with the some of the players that we have got. Like we've got a full back, and I think Esposito is playing as attacking midfielder. We have got an AP and a ball winning midfielder. Why not? We're in this division, so we might as well attack it. We should be favourites to be winning this league. And also, Pedrola, who's joining us next year on a transfer that's already pre-done, even though he's on loan this season, we locked him in that position, that left-hand side. He's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. Can play in all the attacking positions, and he's growing very, very quickly as well. 5-star potential as well, and he's only 20 years old. So far, pre-season has gone brilliantly. We did lose to Empoli though in the Italian Cup first round, losing 3-2 after extra time. Disappointingly, 116th minute winner in the end. The Serie B did start off with a 3-2 win over Spezia, one of the favourites to go up as well. Cosenza, 2-2 away from home, disappointing. Although we were 1-0 down, then 2-1 down. We did fight back, so I'm quite happy with that. And Cremonese, we beat 3-0. With Vera, Pedrola and Esposito netting the goals for that. So I don't think there's any other cup competitions in there, so we should be okay getting wins throughout the rest of this season with no other distractions. And the season preview has us now at 10-3 to win the league. Parma are evens, favourites to win the league. Spezia, Cremonese and teams we both beat, I think. Did we beat both of them? I think we did. I think there's only one of them we didn't. We drew with, didn't we? Cosenza, I think we drew with, and they were down here at 50-1. Have we got any players? Pedrola is in there. He's the only one in the Dream 11, disappointingly, but there's plenty of time to go. So let's simulate our first season and let's see how we get on. Managed to win Serie B quite convincingly, actually. 10 points from Como. Parma, Spezia below, who were one of the other predicted clubs. Tell you what, we really smashed this division. 106 goals, 51 against. There's only Palermo that conceded less than us. Same with Parma. Parma were predicted to win the league. They were some way behind, 20 points behind. We had a very strong finish, as did Como as well, getting ahead of Parma, who seem to have just faltered a little bit. Spezia as well, last few games, wow. They're missing out on an automatic place as well. But that is a phenomenal result, regardless, all the same. Let's have a look, see how we did individually. Esposito, 28 goals. Look at that. From the cam position. If we can grab hold of him and a few of the others, I think we'd have a very, very good side. I mean, that is superb. So looking through some of the results, then we stay unbeaten right up until October, where we lose to Parma 1-0 at home as well, disappointingly. But we get a couple of good high wins there, 3s, 5-1, 5-2, Como and Regina as well. Como finished second. We battered them 5-1 away from home. Another 5-0 there. We did lose to Nana, Pisa and Parma again. 4-0 this time. Parma absolutely smashed us. But look at that running from February onwards, all wins apart from one, and that was to Palermo, 3-1 away from home. That is a superb run of results. Wow, 7-2 there as well against Catanzaro, 4-3 Brescia. I mean, some really high scores in there. That's just superb. What a season. It's a pity this wasn't Serie A. So how did our players do individually? Esposito, if we can grab hold of him, he's only worth £6 million. I'm praying we have got some money that we can bring him to the club, because he will be an absolute asset. Gomina as well, 25 goals. He was our other striker, 28 years old. Barini, he weighed in with 14. I mean, it's a superb team effort, this. It really is. How many assists? Wow, there's a lot of assists in there. 48 goals conceded by Stankovic as well. If we could bring him to the club as well, we do need a decent young goalkeeper, and I think he would. If there's out of all these players that are on loan, Stankovic and Esposito, and I would like to bring in Pedrola as well. He's not for sale, unfortunately. He will be. He's definitely one we will have on our radar, and we will bring him eventually to the club. I do really want him there as well. But some of the others as well. 29 games by Gonzalez as well. At the back, 20 years old. Looks really good. 15 million though. I mean, can we afford him? Be interesting to see how much money we have been given though. And if we find out now, wow, seriously, I'm looking. I'm in shock. I'm hoping they haven't decided the budgets yet, but it looks like they may have done. I'm still in shock here. What? £1 million. You are having a laugh. We are going into Serie A and we've been given £1 million. We can't buy any of them players that we've got on loan with us. We're going to have to sell some players, I think, in order to bring some of these in. But I'm not a happy chap at the moment. This is going to prove a little bit more difficult, I feel. So not many transfers are coming in. The money was very, very low. So instead we decided to add contracts to everybody else. We just couldn't afford any players. But one player we could afford, and that was already done and preordained. From Barcelona, we bring back Estanis Pedrola, the left winger who can play up front, right wing as well. 2.6 million the deal was done for. So I'm really happy that was one of the transfers, or one of the loanees that was already happening. We just couldn't get any of the other players, which vastly weakens our side. Like I say, very happy to have the 21-year-old after a fantastic season last season. 9 goals, 8 assists, 7.23. Really, really chuffed with that. We did go to Juventus though to bring in a midfielder. £750,000. One of the few players we did manage to bring in with the 1.1, should I say, transfer budget that we did have. But 750,000, we've doubled our money on him already, at least anyway. Got good potential. Midfield, 24 years old. Didn't really have much time at Juventus. Under 23s, he played some games there. He was not on loan majority of his career anyway. If Juventus weren't going to want him, then would gladly take him. And finally, from Brianza, only £400,000. 23-year-old Andrea Carboni, a centre-back. He can play left-back as well, which is going to be quite handy because we haven't really got any decent left-backs. So sticking with the same formation, nobody's locked in. If we pick our best 11, we've got Barini up top, but I do want to try this youngster though, Montevego. He's 19 years old, 21 years old, sorry. Got a high potential. He's got good finishing on him. Stamina, I mean, acceleration isn't brilliant. Barini still stands out more than him. But he has scored 3 goals in 6 friendlies. So I'm very tempted to lock him in. To be fair, while we've still got Barini, we just want to utilise him before he retires. Pedrola comes in at left wing. De Pioli as well on right hand side. And we've got a couple of other players in there. Francis at right back. Ferrari, Carboni, Muru, Adura as well. We haven't got Caviglia in here. I think we wanted him there, didn't we? I might lock him in actually, since we did bring him to the club at least. Anyway, him and Benedetti should forge quite a good relationship in that midfield. So we've had a few ups and downs in the friendlies, more notably a 5-3 hammering from Hella Verona. We did bounce back though Italian Cup, we are through to the next round, which we play Udinese. We beat Spezia 3-0. We did draw with Bologna in our first game in Serie A. We did lose to Lazio the game after, but we did beat Parma. We lost to them twice last season without scoring a goal. We beat them this time, so that's a massive improvement, with Barini scoring in the 94th minute to claim the 3 points. We are currently lying in 12th position. I am expecting us to survive, gain some money so we can get some decent transfers in. And we are 600 to 1 to win the league from Inter, who are 5-2. Seems quite a good odds to take, I think. We are above Parma and Como, who came up with us. And Hellas Verona, who smashed us, are sitting 2 places above us in the media prediction. And as you can see, there's none of our players in that Dream 11, which seems very, very talented, if I do say so myself. So let's get on to our second season and see if we can survive our first season back at Serie A. We managed to survive Serie A in the first season back, and I'm pretty ecstatic about it. We've done pretty well. Mid-table, which is a really good result. 14 wins, 16 losses, -8 goal difference though. But we do score 50 here, which is not to be scoffed at. It is better than majority, especially Bologna as well, who finish above us anyway. We do finish ahead of Parma, who escaped relegation, and Como as well, who came up with us, but Como unfortunately go back down. Fiorentina win the league, just losing 6 games, a point ahead of Juventus. We did have a torrid first part of the season though. Wow, how we managed to survive is beyond me. A 6-2 loss to Hellas Verona. I mean, they beat us 5-3 in the friendlies, and they just smashed us again away from home. A 4-0 loss to Napoli though. Any bigger? We do beat Juventus 1-0 though, so that's quite good. We do concede a lot of goals though, unfortunately, but don't forget we did lose half our players who were on loan to us last season, and if we had some of them in here, this will be a totally different matter. The Italian Cup, we do get as far as the third round. We do beat Udinese on penalties in the second round, but we do lose out to Juventus away from home. Despite going 3-0 down, we did get 1 back through Yeps, but it just wasn't enough. Squad-wise though, while there lies a problem, we do miss out on a lot of goals, just not enough being scored. 13 by Pedrola, our new signing, for £2.5 million. He's a bargain, is he, on that left hand side. Gumina as well up front, 11 goals. Barini still puts it away, 8 goals in 36. He is now 34 years old. He's not worth an awful lot. It might be time just to cash in on him now, depending on what sort of money we do get though. It has to be said. There's a few more players that get in a little bit older, like Vera as well. Up to £3 million he's worth. Ferrari, right back. I mean, some of these players now are starting to look a little bit older, but however, they are into their prime. So if we could just edge a couple of them out and bring in some new blood in, it might help with the rebuild. 70 goals conceded by our goalkeeper though, so I mean that could be an issue, but then again that could be a very inexperienced back line. Getting into next season though, we have got £11.5 million to play with. Where that money's coming from, I've got no idea, because we're overspending on wages. So I don't know whether they've cut that or not now. I just don't know. It's proving to be a little bit difficult, this rebuild. If we can get 1 or 2 players in, just keep building on that in the key places, then we might get away with it. But there's far too many players on the wrong side of 30 at the moment that will need replacing. So with not much spending really, we had a lot of contracts to sort out and trying to offload a few players as well to drum up a little bit more cash. But we're bringing Nicolo Turco from Salzburg, only £500,000 to go up front. Barini's getting a little bit older, he's 34, so he's going to be a good backup, and some of the other strikers that we have got are just not good enough. He's reasonably quick, good balance on him. He's got very high finishing of 15, which is very nice indeed. Scored 2 goals for us in 3 games so far, so I'm really pleased so far. But he did score 17 goals for Salzburg in 22 games last season. From Spezia for £5.5 million though, we're bringing Salvatore Esposito, not the Esposito we had in our first season. However, we have got his brother. This is this guy here as a DM or a midfielder. Very good stats. Only 24 years old. We've doubled his value already. 3 games for us already. Did play for Spal, Kivo and Ravenna as well. He has scored some goals along the way, but hopefully he'll suit our style of play and fit in quite well, especially with our next signing. We bring back Sebastiano Esposito, Salvatore's brother. We've managed to seal the deal, £5 million, I think it was. He could play up front. He was absolutely phenomenal for us in our first season. I did say we were going to try and bring him back, and we did, and he was reasonably cheap. His value is only £7.5 million now. He scored 2 goals for us already. He did, in his spell with us, he scored 28 and 34. He's on his way to that already, and in a higher division as well. His stats are just looking absolutely superb. So since he left us, he went back to Inter. They said they wanted to use him and not bring him on loan to us. But he did go to Torino. They bought him for £4.5 million, which really annoyed me. But he only played 19 games, scoring 4 goals. Back with us, he's on his way to getting up 28 again, I'm hoping. So out the door, if we put it in order, Vera's gone to Como for £1.5 million. Our Polish defender, he's gone to Amiens for 1.3. £475,000. Spezia bring up Luca, this forward. Young, not very good. Bari pick up Ricci for £275,000. Simeone, I think he was one of the youngsters, up to £325,000. Conte's another youngster, £170,000. Actually, no, Conte's about 30 odd years old. Yeah, 31 years old. Wasn't going to get any game time. And a couple of other players going out on loan as well. So we did bring up a little bit of money. Fortunately for us, our form in the league is not too bad. We get past the first round, winning 3-1 in the Italian Cup. Then we beat Palermo 1-0 with Turco netting his first goal for the club. Or did he net a goal in the Cup as well? No, he didn't, but Esposito did. And then we beat Salernitana 4-1 with Esposito getting 2 goals, Turco getting 1 and Pedrola also. And then we get smashed by AC Milan, which is probably expected anyway. Currently lying 7th in the division. Hopefully we can stay up in that top half and look for a European spot, which will help with our funding. And unfortunately, we are still predicted to finish near the bottom of the table, which I'm very, very surprised at. But all 3 teams that have come up are expected to go straight back down. I'm disappointed none of our players are not in the Dream 11, especially one of the Espositos. But I'll give it time. I'm sure that will happen. So let's get into our 3rd season and let's see what damage we can do. Oh, we do love defying the media odds. They would predict us to be fighting relegation. That is not what we were doing. We've done better than last season. We're in an upward spiral, which is good. We finished in the top half and only 6 points, or 7 points rather. Well, actually, no, I think it's actually 6 points from a European place, the Conference League. I mean, which is great. I mean, Juventus are 7 points ahead of us, lying in 6th position. We're not that far off at all. 13 points off a Champions League spot, so we're still some way off winning the league though. AC Milan just steam it again, but Fiorentina, I think they won it last season, only lost 2 games but still didn't manage to win the league. They drew an awful lot, and I think they've drawn the most in the league apart from Cagliari, who drew 14 games. Wow. Okay, so we started off well, then we struggled for a couple of games after that. We beat Lazio 1-0, which is a great result. We lost 5-1 away at Fiorentina, though. That's poor, but we did beat Parma and Udinese. 5-1 battering of Pisa. Look at them, 4 losses in 5. Inter Milan, Hellas Verona, Napoli and Juventus. 7-1 against Napoli. Oh my, and at home. Did we not have a side? What were they doing? What on earth? Wow, that's disgusting. And then 4-0 Juventus. Then we go on a little bit of an unbeaten run for a couple of months, which is good. Udinese beat them 4-0. Spezia, Palermo. Good run in February. Then we have a spat of losses again. Juventus, Hellas Verona, Bologna. Then we go on another 3-match winning streak. And then we play Inter, Sassuolo, AC Milan and Lazio, scoring 3 goals in the process and losing all 4. Wow. But we do finish with a 3-0 win on the end. We need to improve on them losses. But that 7-1, that hurts. The Italian Cup, we reached the 3rd round again, this time losing to AC Milan. after having a good couple of wins in the previous round. So again, not a great showing at all. So looking at squad-wise, Esposito, I mean, what can I say about the lad? 23 years old, club's leading goal scorer with 18 and 8 assists. Turco nets in with 14 though, so do we need another striker, a decent striker? We're just filling in here at the minute. Mourinho though still nets in 7 goals in his final year. Is he out on the free? He's retiring actually, so he'll be retiring at the end of July. Pedrola though, he's looking fantastic though. Almost a 5-star player. 11 goals, 13 assists. Salvatore, Esposito, not bad at all. 6 goals and 10. That's fantastic. A goalkeeper, I've conceded 64 goals. Okay, so it is a lot less than last season, I think. 58 conceded in the league this time. He did get 10 clean sheets. So going into next season, oh dear. It's proving to be very, very difficult, this rebuild, because they're not throwing money at us at all. Can you imagine if we got into a European spot? What's debts at the moment? Still 38 mil. 50 mil net debt. So they brought on another loan, a mortgage loan this time. Another £12.5 million, which ends in 6 months. So that's okay. There's serious wheeling and dealing to be done here, I feel. We'll start off with some sad news. We lose Stanis Pedrola. What a talent this young guy is. 23 years old, 5-star player. I mean, look at these attributes. They just look absolutely amazing. He's gone to Chelsea. We couldn't say no in the end. We are cash strapped, and 52 million. I mean, we made 50 million on him, so I can't complain at all. And I don't think the board will either. But that money did help us invest in some other players and some key areas which I think we really needed to address. £2 million was not going to be enough. And once we sorted out contracts, that was all gone until Chelsea stumped up some money, and thank you very much. From Parma for £15 million, we bring in a centre-back. I felt we needed an extra body at the back, and one that can just go straight into the first team. So Catti, Alessandro, worth quite a bit of money now. We've almost tripled his value. £15 million, like I say. We're starting from Parma. Parma, I think, got relegated. So they obviously needed the money and offloaded some wages as well. But he looks pretty good as well to be at the back. Great at marking, heading. He's got good positioning as well. His concentration is excellent, and anticipation is just probably what you want at the back as well. And great jumping reach also. Marks opponents tightly, which is probably what we want. From Borussia Dortmund, second team. The board did want us to sign players from lower teams. What better place than Dortmund? 20-year-old winger. I'm not sure which side he's going to be playing at, but he was basically our replacement for Pedrola. I think he's got great potential. He's already got the pace and acceleration, and he can dribble, which is probably some of the traits we really do need. He tries tricks. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of it, but if it gets us past the opponents, then I'm all for it. Had a good season in League 3 in Germany. 7 assists and a goal in 31 games. He's doing all right for us already. 1 assist in 3. So long may it continue. So we had a little bit of change at the top. Esposito is going up front. He's our best striker we've got. And I was going to go after his brother. We might do it next season depending on how much money we have. And then we needed somebody in the cam role. And we think Gustavo Sarr will be that person. 21 years old. Similar sort of player to Esposito. A lot of catching up to do, but a high potential as well. £8.5 million from Famalicão from Portugal. A goal for us already. He had a really good season last season as well. 3 goals, 9 assists. Hopefully he'll replicate that over here as well. I think we're going to see a lot of these youngsters really coming into their own. And finally, we went for a left back as well. And we bring in Patrick Dergu. £6 million from Salento in the Serie B. I think they recently got relegated not long ago. Goal and assist and player of the match already. 7.33 in 3 games. You can't ask for more than that. And he looks really good. High potential and very good for a left back as well. He came to us on a 2-star, I think it was. And he's already gained that much already. Tactically, we're going to have a couple of DMs as opposed to attacking midfielders. I think we just need to concentrate on not conceding many goals. If we can do that and score a fair bit with the players we have got, then I think it's going to be some exciting times. Also, we bring in Tommy Doyle. I didn't mention it last season because we couldn't play him, but we brought him in last season. He's going to be in midfield as a backup at least. We've got him on a free from, I'm not sure where he was from, Man City I think it was. He's played 2 games for us already actually. Amazing. Looks really good in midfield, and he can play in DM role as well. So we'll have to watch this space. But yeah, we had him last season. I don't think he didn't get any game time because we couldn't play him because of the EU rulings or something. I couldn't find out where this extra EU player was, which meant he couldn't play. So, but this season we've managed to sign him, which I'm really, really happy about. So locked in is Saar, Duranville, Sakati and Durgu, the players we have brought in. So far, so good. Friendlies went without a hitch. We've won our first game competitively in the Italian Cup first round, beating Bari 6-1. We did come back down to earth with a 3-0 thrashing by Atalanta. Disappointing away from home, but then we bounced back with a win at Pisa and a 3-1 win at home to Sassuolo. Really chuffed about that, and Esposito getting amongst the goals once again. We have drawn Frosinone in the next round of the Italian Cup, and we're currently lying in 7th position. Again, we want to try and aim for a European spot. And this season sees our odds slashed to 350 to 1, and we have climbed a few places up the table through the media. Again, we want to surprise them once more and finish up here, and preferably in a European spot. So none of our players have reached the Dream 11 just yet, but we are working on it. So let's simulate our 4th season, see where we can come, and hopefully bring home some sort of silverware or a European spot. Would be quite nice. The media keep getting it wrong. We finish in 4th position and a Champions League spot, which is absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic stuff on our return back to the big time. A 3rd season back in, and we've just got better and better and better. 22 wins this season, 11 draws, only 5 losses, the same as Lazio, who do win the league, and they beat us by 4 points in the end. We did have 2 draws in the last 5 games, which make up them 4 points. We may have scraped a league win if that was the case, but a 93 goals scored, more than anybody else by some margin. But I'm pleased that we've managed to get up there and do exactly what we wanted to do. We've got one more season. Maybe we can defy the odds once again. And look at that, Esposito in his first season up top, leading goal scorer, 23 goals in this season. Absolutely great stuff. So after that first initial loss to Atalanta, our next loss wasn't until October, where we lost 4-2. Unfortunately, but a 4-4 draw with Roma, which is quite good, high score, and a 4-4 draw with AC Milan as well, actually. We do struggle for a couple of months where we don't win, but we do have a lot of draws. Juventus we beat 2-1. We do lose to Empoli and Inter though, but we get back onto winning terms, winning about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games on the bounce, including a 5-2 win over Torino. Twice, in fact. 4-2 over Brianza. Only one loss in the last 5 months, including a 4-0 win over Pisa. Lazio we beat 3-2. Roma we win 3-2. Empoli 4-3. We draw with Milan, Juventus. Them sort of games we were losing last season. The Italian Cup would get as far as the quarterfinals. We go one step further. This time we're losing to Parma, who we would have expected to beat. 3-2 that one, with a 92nd minute winner for Parma after we scored in the 89th minute to draw level, after being 2-0 down as well, in fact. I mean, it's disappointing to go out at that stage, especially to Parma, but we did beat Juventus on the way, so yeah, very disappointing. Our squad-wise, though, we've got 5 players on double figures. Esposito, 28 goals, 8 assists. Gustavo Sa in his first season, 16 and 9. Salvatore Esposito, 16 and 11. Stopper on the left-hand side with 12 and 9. And Duranville on the right-hand side, our youngster that we brought in, 11 and 14. That is really good. And DiPoli as well, 1 goal, 12 assists. Tommy Doyle, how did he do? He did play 8 games, 18 off the bench, 2 and 1. Dorgu, how did he do? 4 and 7. That's not bad in his first season as well. He's only 22 years old as well. Our goalkeeper conceded 66 goals. How many did he actually concede? I think he conceded about 61, didn't he? Yeah, in the league. I'm going towards a new goalkeeper at this stage. I think maybe that is where the problem could be lying. He's 30 years old now. It looks pretty good though, to be honest, but depending on how much money we have, which we'll find out. Now, oh my word, we're in the Champions League and they're only giving us 1.7 million. We have got 80% of the transfer revenue though. Does that mean we have to sell somebody big in order to generate more money? We have got nearly £100,000 a week in wages. Oh, that is so disappointing. I'm hoping there may be a bit more. Maybe have to sponsor. Have we got any sponsorship money? We don't get an awful lot. Okay, let's see what we can do with this minimal amount. So we start off with one of two signings, and that is virtually all the excitement that there was for this window. 23-year-old Diego Calais comes in for £1.7 million from Sporting, another goalkeeper. I felt like we needed fresh hands. Our goalkeeper's not doing too bad, but he's conceding an awful lot of goals. I think a change of goalkeeper might help, and probably a younger version. Our current goalkeeper, he is in his 30s now, and from Frosinone for £1.5 million, we bring in Federico Cornero. Left winger, again, some potential. It doesn't look too bad. Probably the best of a not so great bunch with the amount of money that we had to spend. I mean, £2 million was not a lot. We did manage to drum up some money from some of our clauses, which we sold just to get some extra cash in. But again, there was just nothing out there. And the players we wanted were 5 million plus. So I think overall about £3 million spent in total, which is a very, very small amount. However, saying that, we're continuing where we left off last season. Our friendlies weren't too bad, but we did start the campaign in Serie A. We'll notice we haven't played any Italian Cup games because we're in Europe, and it's the Champions League, of course, straight into the league phase. But we did beat Pisa 4-1 first game of the season, Genoa 6-0. We did lose to Inter, but we did smash Juventus 4-2 at home. We played Besiktas, Ferencváros, Barcelona, Dortmund, Lech, PSV, Lazio actually in the Super Cup semi-final. Okay, that's something else. I think that's the top four where they go off and play their own little cup, isn't it? I think Napoli and Villarreal. We're playing an Italian side in the Champions League. That doesn't seem fair. However, we are lying second in the table, so hopefully we can remain there. And we are actually predicted to finish mid-table, 50-1 now. Remember, we were down here around about 600-700 to 1. We are now 50-1 and in the Champions League spot, and we're in the predicted to finish 10th. It's brilliant. What a turnaround we have had. And unfortunately, we have not got any players in the Dream 11 when none of them made it, which I'm very surprised, especially with the Esposito brothers. So let's simulate our final season. Fingers crossed we could come away with some silverware. That would be really something. There's no fairy tale ending to season 5. We finished in 3rd position though, which is an improvement from last season where we finished 4th. Each season since we got back into Serie A, we have improved on year. We did, however, lose 10 games though. We only lost 5 last season. And we finished 4th. And we lost 5. This season we lost 10 and finished 3rd. Esposito though wins the Golden Boot once again. 26 goals from Ratkov from Napoli at 23. And is that Lautaro Martinez? It is. 21 goals for Inter. Wow. And Duranville gets 13 assists, which is pretty damn good as well. It looks like the Italian Serie A has dropped in the league reputations. Looks like Germany have gone ahead of them. So a quick look at our league form there. We did have it quite well right up until November, and then it went a little bit pear-shaped though. A couple of nice big wins in there. Parma, Roma. A 5-1 win over Como as well. I mean, some good wins in there, but the next couple of months was a little bit sticky, I'm not going to lie. With a 4-1 victory over Parma. Did we beat Parma up here as well? I'm sure we did. We did. 4-2 there, and we beat them not long after as well. 4-1 there as well. We lost to Lazio, Bologna, and Napoli. 3 games on the bounce, which probably didn't help matters really, but then we bounced back with 4 straight wins, including a win over Napoli. 2-1 there. We lost to Fiorentina and AC Milan, and then we do finish strongly, which is important, with a loss in between there against Juventus. But we did beat Inter just beforehand, which is really good. So we are beating the bigger sides, which is most important. The Italian Cup, we get as far as the quarter-finals. Again, we didn't go in the early couple of rounds because we were in Europe, but we beat Frosinone 2-1 and then losing to Napoli 3-0, so they did get their own back on us. The Super Cup, we did lose to Lazio 3-1 in the semi-final and then lost in extra time to Napoli again. Wonderful. I wonder if Napoli won all their competitions. The Champions League, however, we started off brightly in the league phase, which is good. With the draw against Besiktas, beat Ferencvaros. Barcelona, we beat 4-1. Wow, what an amazing result. And Dortmund away from home there. Lech 2-1 as well. We did draw with PSV. We lost to Napoli again. Unbelievable. Talk about nemesis this season. And drew with Villarreal before going out in the playoff round against Atletico Madrid. Very, very close. That 4-3 loss was, I think we were 3-0 up in this game as well. Oh no, 2-0. And then we managed to get one back to try and win it back at home, of which we conceded an extra time goal. So why is it not saying extra time there? Disappointing all the way, but where did we finish in the league phase just out of interest? 10th. Okay, not too bad. Bayern Munich were top. So who won in the end? It was Man City over PSG, 1-0. Squad-wise though, Esposito, I mean, look at the chap. 37 goals scored with 3 assists. Duranville, 14 and 17. He's an exceptional player at 22 years old. A name for the future rebuilds, I think. And Gustavo Sarr as well at 23. Masterminding in that cam role, 14 and 10. Not really anybody else really helping out though, unfortunately. We get 12 assists from Acarino, Federico, and 15 assists from Salvatore Esposito as well, his brother. I wonder if he helped him out with a couple of goals as well. Our goalkeeper played 11 games though. That's disappointing. I expected him to take over, but I'm sure he will do now after Odero concedes 53 and 39. Disappointing between the two goalkeepers, it has to be said, but I'm guessing going forward it will be Calais, whose morale's really superb. Staffing, well, that's pretty good considering where we were 4 seasons ago. I did want to have a look at Esposito, just see how well his development is. His development's really, really good as well, isn't it, Esposito? And Duranville, his has been going up as well. It looks really nice as well. That's pretty good to see at 22. And Gustavo Sarr, again, improving all the time. But despite just having that one competition win, which was Serie B, to get ourselves back into Serie A, really unfortunate not to come away with anything else, but I suppose to get into the top 3 is fantastic. But let's have a quick look at some of the records, and did we break any? That's the main thing. Most points in a season, 89, 23, 24. I think that was before we took over. That was the first season. That was in Serie B, I think. Most wins, 28. I think that was in the first season as well. And fewest league draws, 5. That was the first season. So a lot of these in the first season. 106 goals scored as well. Attendances. The last one, £1.9 million in gate receipts for against Barcelona in the Champions League. I think that's where we smashed them as well. And average attendance was this season as well. Esposito, 37 goals in a season is a record. Most league goals by a player in the season, 28 by Esposito. Of course it is. We brought him back and he's done the job once. A highest average rating, Esposito. Who else would it be? Again, the first season, most assists is DePoli. And most clean sheets is 10 by our current goalkeeper now. And Esposito wins most man and match awards in the 26-27 season. Right, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like that, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button as well. Share the video. And let me know down in the comments who you would like to see rebuilt next. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.